Welcome to Friendship Friday. I'm delighted to be talking about friendship because it's such an interesting topic, because we all need friends, especially in this time of uncertainty. Friendship is what can keep us going. So what is a good friend? Well, a good friend is somebody that we share a lot of positive communication with. We encourage each other, we look out for each other, we do things for each other without expecting a reward. It doesn't mean that there aren't times where we have to speak up for ourselves, and we'll talk about safekeeping tomorrow and assertiveness. But it means that we can be who we are and that we can flourish because we are supported in the person we really are. We are able to reveal our innermost thoughts and feelings to a good friend. That good friend could even be ourselves. To have a good friend in ourselves, because there are times when there's nobody around to encourage us, where we feel alone and isolated. And also another good friend, of course, could be the loving creator that a lot of people would find comfort in relating to. I'll be talking more about that on Sublime Sunday. But today, just talking about person-to-person friendship and relationships that we need in order to flourish. And when we are not getting on with other people, it is a problem. For example, the research shows that if you have a happy neighbor, which means that you are able to exchange small courtesies and greetings, you are likely to be 14% more happy than if you just had a neighbor where you are expecting conflict and perhaps afraid to meet them. A lot of people who have experienced cancer have also shared that part of what helped them to heal was to forgive somebody. Because holding on to a hurt, it just hurts ourselves in a sense that we are all the time on the defense. We were talking about our defense system, how it compromises our immune system, which is okay for a while if we need to be on the defense, but if we are holding on to a hurt for a long time, our defense system is like post-traumatic stress. Our defense system is activated in the background, and it's wearing us down. It's creating adrenaline, which is turning into cortisol, and too much cortisol creates illness in our bodies. So it's very important to forgive, and that's why I'll now go through this formula, and I'm sure that you yourself have used this unknown to yourself, because how I know about the formula is through Everett Worthington, who has studied this for years and years, what we do when we forgive, in order to pinpoint the different stages. It's called the REACH formula. The first step is R. Recall the event. Recall what happened to you. What was it that happened that really hurt you? Okay, so for me, I was thinking of somebody close to me actually who was mocking me. I felt they didn't have any sympathy for me, or at that moment it's like they wanted to put me down or put me in my place, and it just felt very hurtful. Right, so the next step is empathy. To empathize with that person, if you were a defense lawyer in court. How can I defend that person? And not that I agree with it or think it's right, but what could have caused them to behave in such a way? What are the mitigating circumstances? As a former friend, I think they must have been under tremendous pressure, and I think they weren't aware what they were doing, because they wouldn't deliberately hurt me. They just weren't aware that that particular way of communicating with me was very hurtful. Right, so the third step is A for altruistic act. And it's really to make a decision to forgive the other person. Not necessarily because they deserve it, because they may not have apologized. You don't know that they're going to change, perhaps. But to give the altruistic gift of forgiveness, because we would want others to forgive us too. If we do things that we don't realize, we might inadvertently hurt others and we don't even know it. So to actually just give the gift of altruism in order for us to move on and to be free, not to carry this in our defense system any longer. Okay, so I forgive the person. I've decided to forgive. C, commit ourselves. So the way I can commit myself is either by writing a little letter of forgiveness, which is a very good exercise. It's very good to write all this down. Or we can just speak out to ourselves how we forgive that person, what they have done, but also that we forgive. And we might never give the person that letter. It's just for us to process the whole experience. So I forgive my friend, because I realized that perhaps they were under pressure of some sort, and they don't know how hurtful their speech was. It doesn't mean it was right what they did, but I might learn some skills so that I can be more ready another time to handle it better, to not take it to heart. And I commit myself to forgive by not holding on to a grudge or seeking revenge, but rather to let it go and just trust that I have skills that will help me to move on and be strong in myself. H is to hold on to that forgiveness. How do I hold on to it? And the way of holding on to it is to, whenever it comes into our mind, to remind ourselves that we have forgiven. If it's a big event in our lives and it's a big forgiveness, it is good to write, like I said, a letter, but then perhaps to destroy the letter as a symbol that we are letting go. And whenever it comes to mind, remember that we have torn up that letter, we have let it go. And of course, then to build our assertiveness skills and our safekeeping skills. So I hope this formula was of some help to you, or perhaps in the future you might find it useful. So I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow on Safe Saturday.